What are the current hot topics in outsourcing contracts? We've been discussing the main issues on outsourcing contracts and analyzing the main IT transactions. But what are currently the main hot topics? If we look at the main hot topics in the past, as discussed in previous presentations, the main hot topics were getting the right price, striking the balance between pricing and terms and conditions, and how to adjust the pricing. We've been discussing also gain sharing and whether or not it is a useful element to promote some good incentives for the suppliers. We've also been discussing governance. It is in fact not a given that once you have a good contract you have a successful relationship, but it may well help if you have a good governance procedure to readdress a very bad contract. And on schedule, we've been discussing on schedules mapping adequately the parties' obligations and making sure that it is indicated who is doing what and making sure that there's the right matrix. Benchmarking, MFN, or most favored customer, or what is best or is less worse in these cases. And how to find an adequate balance with limitation of liabilities and insurances. And also how to protect IPR, pre-existing technologies, and how to deal with customization. Are the above topics still relevant? The answer is yes, and actually we are seeing that in many negotiations we are still having. But is there anything new in account of the changes in the market? The market has become more and more international with an increasingly international elements within the deals. And in fact, there's been a reduction on the transfer of personnel, the transfer of data centers, and more attention on transition services and transition provisions. But what is in fact at present the main hot topic? The main buzzword remains cloud and cloud computing. A lot of people talk about cloud. There's still a lot of confusion about it. We do talk a lot about cloud. However, we do not make a lot of cloud deals. Yet some confusion remains on what is required. And by the way, software as a service is very different from infrastructure as a service. What are the main issues that need to be taken into account? The main issue in cloud deals remain data breach and all the data protection issues, including the flows of data. And how to address a data breach. With the draft EU regulation, there will no doubt be a lot of changes also for the Italian regulations and also for the Italian jurisdiction. Which measures to promote the right behavior? For instance, for data breach, the customer will no doubt want to carefully address all measures that would be required. On the other side, the supplier would say that by the mere fact that the supplier will be dealing with this data with a better organization, well, in this case, the data breach issues are, in any event, adequately addressed. To sum up, and particularly with regards to private cloud, hot topics and main issues didn't change a lot. In this blog, I will not be running a checklist on cloud, which, by the way, we have been doing in our tech and sourcing newsletters. What we will be doing is just raising a concern with regards to cloud and making sure that whenever you are dealing with cloud components, make sure you adequately address and do your homework on what is the hosting company, and do a research on the security measures and guidelines and identify the jurisdiction involved and the premises. Very recently in Italy there's been a substantial issue that has been raised with some problems, including floods and fires with certain premises. We will continue to discuss cloud in our blog. In the meantime, let us know what are your tech and sourcing hot topics, and we will be more than happy to continue to discuss. Thank you.